Here's the lamest one on the list.
Wait, there's a lamer one than
the lamest one?
This is the lamest. There's others.
Okay.
There. Yeah. What falls in the winter but never gets hurt? Snow. Stupid. Yeah, snow.
That's more of a riddle than a joke.
It is, I guess. Yeah. Okay. That's getting hurtful.
Sorry, Sheila.
Oh, we're hot?
we're hot. Hot mic.
All right. Welcome. You're listening to Passages. We're all here tonight, and we're excited about our second episode on video. We had a great time last week with the 100th episode. It was, I mean, what Patrick said is true. We weren't sure if we could pull it all together, and the fact that it all
really well.
came together all right.
Yeah.
But it sure made preparing for this episode much easier.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is going to have a lot fewer moving parts.
Yep. Back to the normal grind.
It's just a relaxed pace.
Super relaxed.
Nothing fancy tonight.
Just 101.
That's right.
Here we go.
It's 101.
So, speaking of routine, let me get to our sponsor, Riddle Creek Publishing. Looking for books that deepen faith and spark meaningful discussion? At Riddle Creek Publishing, we create biblically based study guides, Christian fiction, and youth resources that help teens and adults engage Scripture in fresh, practical ways. From adult Bible studies and teen lessons to publishing consultation, Riddle Creek is with you every step of your journey. Discover free downloads, podcasts, and more at riddlecreekpublishing.com, where faith meets thoughtful learning and storytelling. And this sponsorship is made in memory of Mary Jane Kaiser, the founder of Riddle Creek Publishing. And be looking for Andy Kaiser's new book, I Want to Go to Heaven. It's currently in print. I was just talking to him today about the book, so it'll be out very soon. And we're looking forward to getting that into the hands of people so they can study that really important subject.
Well, we have a second sponsor, and I want to bring him up tonight. It's Joel's Advice and Savory Smoked Salmon Soda. And I tested out the advice email.
Oh,
I thought you were going
to say you tested out the soda.
Are you kidding me? My microphone still smells of salmon. I don't know that I could do that. But I did send a question in to the advice channel because I watched our first episode just to see what it looked like, make sure I didn't need to powder, before we turned the bright lights on. I probably should powder. I did watch it. Me and Cassie watched it together. It was pretty funny. But after watching it, I realized there was an issue with a few of us in this room. So I wanted his advice. I said, "Dear Joel, after watching the podcast and seeing the lack of hair on this team, I was wondering what hair product recommendations you have for the guys. We, save Patrick, are needing more thickness and body in our hair. Can you help us out?" Well, I waited a couple of days. And true to form,
he did say it would be.
He said it
48 hours.
Yeah, he did, and he got it back to me in a timely manner.
He didn't hear that ding when he was in the bed, like he talked about.
Right? Yeah.
And so he sent it back to me, and I'm going to read the response. "Dear Jason, thank you for trusting Joel's Advice and Savory Smoked Salmon Soda for all your advice and salmon soda needs. The lack of hair on your podcast is certainly noticeable, and I have a few points of advice. Okay. Have you tried Savory Smoked Salmon Soda? It has been shown to increase hair growth in men who drink it, as 100% of men who have consumed it have a full beard and luxurious hair. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and are in no way a promise of hair growth. If hair on your chest is what you lack, spicy, savory smoked salmon soda is what you need, as every participant who tried it made the statement, that'll put hair on your chest. Again, hasn't been evaluated by the FDA, blah, blah, blah. In fact, I saw hair sprout on Patrick's chest by just watching me consume Joel's, just one glass of Joel's.
Oh, that's just the S's.
Or Joel's in the morning and one glass at night before bed may or may not lead to a full head or chest of beautiful flowing hair.
Oh.
Finally, Patrick's full head of hair may not be due to genetics or quality of the hair products, but rather his vampirism.
Oh.
Think about it. He hasn't ever aged.
Took a turn.
I've never seen him outside in the sunlight, and he often stares at necks longingly. He also
What?
Next.
he also always declines garlic bread at meals. Sincerely, Joel Henry, CEO of Joel's Advice and Savory Smoked Salmon Soda. And then he sent us, I guess, an image of his brand. And I thought it was really well done. Joel spent some time on this.
Wow.
First of all,
he upgraded the label in a week, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
First of all, Joel doesn't know me at all if he thinks I would ever turn down garlic bread.
I was going to say, I have seen you consume garlic bread.
Yeah.
Not quite the rate you consume Julie's chocolate chip cookies.
True.
But it's still, you like garlic bread.
I do like garlic bread. Can we talk about Julie's cookies for just a minute?
Always.
And the amount of love that she puts in them.
That would be a nice balance to what we were just discussing.
You're trying to conjure some of those stuff, aren't you?
Not at all. Not at all. But if I were, there would be signs.
It's been a while since we've had some chocolate chip cookies.
Like literal signs, you mean?
Yeah, that's a good addition to the studio for sure.
All right.
Yeah, I have a feeling that every time we ask for advice, it's going to come back to the soda.
I think so.
I think it's going to be his answer for every problem that ails man.
Can also, and I'm just going to keep digging my grave here on this because I know I'm going to get it for this. But I mean, 100% of men who have drank it have a full beard, but they came to the soda with a full beard. Didn't cause the beard. I mean, this whole causation is not.
Well, you're acting like you seem to think that was the first time you'd ever mixed or drunk.
He said that was the 100th.
The 100th. Yeah, I don't
But it
believe
had been in the lab for
Yeah.
testing for weeks. I'm sure that wasn't the first time he drank.
That's true.
I'm just glad the room had time
got
to
me
air
on
out
that.
a little bit.
Man.
I had no indication whatsoever that was the first time he'd ever tried that.
No, I think he had tried
Seemed
it
that he knew exactly what he was getting into.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the main portion of the podcast this week, I'd like to purchase a little airtime, if you don't mind.
Oh no.
Tim, you're a host. You
no.
don't have to purchase
Well,
airtime.
I
Let's see
mean,
what we got here.
since we're
$1.
yeah, it's this will only take a moment.
I'll add this to the tip jar.
All
Thanks.
right, excellent. So we've talked for a little while about some of the improvements going on in the city of Leeds, and one of those being that we're about to open a new car wash in town.
No. Yeah.
On the site of a
that killed Guadalajara.
yeah on the site of a beloved Leeds institution, and so I figured it was time to let's just do a little pre-work for them, and so here we go. You remember the old Guadalajara restaurant, the flavors, the flair, the name everyone knew. Well, now something new is cooking on that same spot, and this time it's your car that's getting the special treatment. Welcome to Guadala Car Wash, where the only thing spicy is the shine. At Guadala Car Wash, we serve up a full menu of clean, from quick exterior washes to the ultimate deep clean detail, high pressure rinse, premium soaps, and a finish so glossy your car will look muy
Muy or muy?
bueno.
Oh no.
Same location you've always known, but now instead of tacos and enchiladas, we're dishing out spotless rides and showroom shine. So bring your car hungry for clean and leave satisfied every time. Guadala Car Wash, the tradition continues, just a little cleaner.
Nice.
Oh.
Now, why did you pay to do an ad for them? Are you an investor?
Well, the place feels like home to me. Just
Your
the-
car probably
the
still
site.
automatically turns in there.
Tim, are you going to be the first customer?
I'll try my best to be the first customer there.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought for a second this was going to go in another direction, and you were going to do an ad for the other car wash that didn't take away your favorite restaurant. But I'm glad to see you taking the high road, Tim.
yeah. Yeah.
It's very big of you.
Well, if they had taken it away completely, and there was not Raoul's, which we may do a commercial for in a future week.
Yeah. You'll have to do it in the voice of Stan, though.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
He sounds very much like Tim.
It's
He
very
does.
similar, but there are some slight variations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking of advice, we have a lot of characters that come up to the building.
mm-hmm.
Interesting people asking for help, folks from the community. And I heard a story today I just wanted to share with you guys. And I may just bring these up as they come.
I like it.
I need to start saving these and chronicling them here because I forget so many good things.
Mhm.
So today, this woman came and we were helping her out, and I was getting her story. And she told me that her ex-husband had had a very serious spinal cord injury. It occurred when they were doing back surgery on him, and they snipped his spinal cord. And she said that his head swelled up so big that when they rolled him down the hallway, she walked by him and didn't recognize him. She said it was 3 times the size of his head.
3 times.
3 times.
His head was 3 times.
That's what
the
she
size.
said. And I have no reason to question the veracity of this source. No reason at all.
Mhm.
Now, here's the part
I'm picturing the
that
Great
may-
Pumpkin Man. That's what I'm picturing
that's-
as you're talking.
That's precisely the size of this man's head.
Yeah.
From a spinal cord snipping error of the surgeon.
Did she have
No.
any photo documentation?
No, she did not.
Okay.
But I
Was-
have no
was-
reason to doubt.
Was Big
Her
Head like
story.
in the car or something?
He was not.
No.
Ex-husband.
Oh,
So
ex-husband. Yeah.
they're not together anymore. She probably is not
And-
attracted to gigantic heads. I don't know.
And probably paralyzed.
Well, no. There's a
okay.
happy ending. So
Whoa.
treatment.
Wait.
You snipped
They
my
snipped the
cord.
spinal cord.
Well,
Snipped
maybe it's
it.
just
Just
snip.
snipped it.
Just a little snip.
Just
It was leaking.
Put it back
See, the
together.
spinal fluid leaked, and that's why
Oh.
his head swelled up. This is medically accurate.
Did they have
Don't-
his feet up in the air where gravity pulled the fluid down to the head?
I'm getting to that
Okay.
because that was the treatment. The treatment was twofold.
Okay.
One was to hang him upside down for 3 days.
Okay.
Which I found counterintuitive. You know, I was thinking maybe we want to elevate the head, but
3 days.
got a pumpkin head? Hang it. Who knew? Hang it upside down, it heals. Now, the biggest part of
Did it
this.
seem like it'd get bigger?
Wait, I haven't even got to the good part yet. So that was part of it, but the part that healed the spinal cord, and I wouldn't believe it if it hadn't come from her.
Okay.
But what the doctor prescribed was an over-the-counter medication called Mountain Dew. And that Mountain Dew, she said, 48 hours, that spinal cord sealed up. She said, I don't know what's in it, but it's like a glue or something that coats the spinal cord and sealed that injury up. And he was 3 days, he's up walking around.
That's why Tim's never been paralyzed.
That's it.
All that Mountain Dew.
I brought it up because I thought of my friend Tim when she was telling me all this. I should have asked, can it be Diet
Can
Mountain
it be
Dew?
Diet
So
Mountain Dew?
if-
Maybe it was
I
the
ever-
original.
I'm in surgery and have a snipped spinal cord, and my head swells up 3 times, bigger than normal. Which
Drink
would
some
be,
Mountain Dew.
I mean,
Upside
I wear
down.
a gigantic hat size, so that would be,
How do
it
you
would be
drink it
enormous.
upside down? Is that difficult?
A straw.
Well, that's where she came in. She had to administer the Mountain Dew.
Was it like a mother bird to the baby? She would drink a little and. It's a fair question. I'm just,
Well-
that's how I picture it.
Let's just say the condition her mouth was in, that would not have been possible.
There'd been seepage, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Was there maybe a pump? She pumped.
No, I don't know if she used a eyedropper.
I don't know.
It had to be
How
copious
many
amounts.
Mountain Dews,
There was,
though?
she said, all day long.
Well, maybe.
Did you take her back here to the closet and just give her some Mountain Dew? I mean,
I did not let her come in the building.
Maybe the blood sugar went up high enough that it just turned into like maple syrup or sorghum syrup,
It
and
turned
that's
into-
what
it turned-
that's what clogged up the leak.
turned
was
into
some-
mountain glue.
Yes. There it is.
Good night, kids.
We were searching for it. We found it. That's it. The episode is perfect.
So we've now
We have
this
a
show
title
had
now.
Mountain Don't and Mountain Glue. I love it.
And I don't think our passengers may have understood it who follow our Instagram account, but
wow.
there's what brand is it? Is it Monster? No, it's not Monster. There's some energy drink that has. Oh, it's and it's great radio.
Red Bull? No.
No, it's the Death Wish.
I don't know.
Liquid Death.
Liquid
Yeah, yeah.
Death has a flavor called Mountain Don't, and we had no idea whenever we coined that. Man, that we missed out on a lot of money there.
Mountain
Man.
Glue, Tim. That is
My
spectacular.
ears are on fire right
Yeah.
now.
I'll have to save those little nuggets for you
We
guys.
appreciate that a lot.
I'll bring it up every time, and it will make me a better listener at the door.
Well, I'm really glad that he's doing better. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Did you have to
yeah.
go get her some Mountain Dew? Or is this
No.
something in the past? This is from way back
This
when.
happened this morning.
No. The injury.
Oh, the injury long time ago.
Okay.
He's all better now. The downside is he's not making money at Halloween parties anymore.
No.
Lost. The,
Once the face came back
pumpkin
down,
head.
did he look anything like the character from the Goonies? I'm just asking.
It's been a while since I've seen the Goonies. I have no idea
Oh. Mm.
what you're talking about.
Mm,
You know,
Anybody else?
No, I got nothing.
yeah.
It's kind of an obscure reference there.
No, it's not.
No,
it's
the
not
Goonies-
that
Well,
obscure. You're-
it's-
he's,
it's an old
he's
movie.
talking
Yeah,
about this
that
guy.
guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Tim, if your head swole up
Are
three
our listeners
times,
seeing this?
No,
Okay.
I'm not sure I'll
It
edit that
don't-
in.
No, you shouldn't. If your head were to swell up this big, Tim, and then come back down to normal,
Uh-huh.
you would have to have some work done.
There'd be some
I'm just
sagging.
saying.
There'd be some sagging, and
I mean, at least a brow lift. I mean,
it would look like the Goonies guy for sure.
your forehead would have stretch marks. There's no
Yeah,
doubt if your head
six-head.
swelled up that big.
Yeah. All right.
That is the greatest
Drew,
story we've
I-
ever told on this podcast.
Can I just ask one question?
Oh no.
How in the world, or did you keep a straight face while she was talking? Was she telling you the story?
Practice.
In his head, he was going, dead puppies, dead puppies, dead puppies.
Practice.
Were you just nodding at her throughout the whole thing?
Oh
You
man!
narrow your eyes a little.
Yeah. If you say that every now and again, people think you're listening.
Interesting.
Three times the size of his normal head.
Ow. Ow.
Wow.
Wow.
How about
rough.
I
that?
wouldn't know what to do. I think I would just close the door and slowly slink back into the building and act like there was no one at the door.
I would definitely take out my phone and start recording. Can you tell me that again?
Yeah.
One more time.
The world needs to hear this.
Yeah. We have a studio in here. Let me get the lights on. Tell me the story.
Put her on Jason's microphone.
Yeah, it already smells like salmon. So
Salmon.
All right. Am I up?
yeah,
Are
go
we
ahead.
just
Sure.
around the table?
Hit it.
I might have something else later. I'm going to
All
let
right.
you guys talk a little bit.
Can't top that.
It's pretty good.
So I've got my songbook with me tonight, and I was just thinking about things this week, and I thought, I wonder. There's a lot of songs that we sing in a repetitive fashion, right? That they're the more popular songs of Asheville Road, and started thinking about, well, I wonder what the most popular songs are, or hymns that are sung in the churches of Christ. And so I asked my buddy old AI, or just popped a Goog, and it gave me some ideas. But I want to ask y'all, if you had to come up with what you thought, just give me one or two, or the most popular songs that are sung in churches of Christ. What would you think that would be? What do you
Well,
think would make
Tim,
it on the list?
We flew away this
So,
morning.
all right, that's an interesting one. I'll fly away.
It is
right?
well with my soul.
Okay.
It's got to be top 5.
It is
Yeah,
well.
that
Yeah.
is- yeah.
All right. What else?
We sing Jesus is tenderly calling
Okay.
a lot.
Yeah.
728B.
Our God, He is alive. The
Mm-hmm.
national anthem of the Churches of Christ.
There's
Amazing Grace.
one. There's one I cannot,
Amazing Grace. That's a good one.
and not the Unbreak These Chains version. The original.
Just as I am.
Just as I am.
That doesn't go very well. No, but there's an Amazing Grace.
There's an Amazing
Is that it?
My something. Yeah,
And you're like,
Your eyes are high.
It's like, not this version. Sorry, I can't.
I think one of the problems is you don't know the words.
No, I don't.
my eyes are dry. I need some drops.
Come to Leeds Family Eye
Some
Care.
mountain glue.
This isn't an eye doctor joke or anything.
No.
All right, those are good ones. So I was like, there's got to be a list, an official list.
Mansions over on a hilltop got to be there.
Mansions on
because
the
I'm not
hilltop.
settling for a cottage.
Nope.
No,
get in
most
that
materialistic song in the songbook.
That's
It's
right.
awful.
But we
Shouldn't
sung
say that.
tonight.
We sure did.
I missed that part.
All right, so yeah,
Shocking.
You should check that out. We sing at the beginning.
Wait, we do stuff before class?
Oh me. All right, so the list that it gave me was "It Is Well with My Soul." Drew, you got one there. "Amazing Grace." As I was thinking about this, I thought, our religious neighbors, we probably have some crossover, but we probably have some that are our own as well, right?
Mhm.
I think like "Our God, He is Alive," maybe a Church of Christ, may have been written by a member of the church. It might just be in our hymnals.
Yeah, I don't know the origin
I'm
of that,
just
but
not-
it doesn't seem like something that crosses over.
Yeah. "How Great Thou Art."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one that
That's the one they had to paste into the
into the front
side of
right.
the cover.
Mhm.
Well, and that's the one that Elvis sang, "Oh Great Thou
Mhm.
Art." Yeah.
"Blessed Assurance" was on this list.
Really? I mean,
that
we sung that one a lot.
right, but not necessarily a
Pretty sure it was a big hit at the nursing home when we used to do nursing home services as
Yeah.
a child.
"Holy, Holy, Holy."
Now that is a good one.
it's a really good song. I
wouldn't have thought it was a popular-
top
Right.
10.
Now you're going to say "Night with Ebon Pinion."
"Night with Ebon Pinion" is not on the list.
Okay.
But we may do another week with obscure words and songs or something. "Jesus Paid It All." Now, there's two versions of that, right? There's one that's like a invitation song. That's one, right? And then "Jesus paid it all
Yeah.
to him I owe," or
So
I
which one are
messed
they
that up.
talking about?
I don't know which one they're even talking about. "Softly and Tenderly," very good. Patrick,
Oh, did I say?
this is thematic.
It's tenderly calling. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Jesus is tenderly calling.
No, it's two different songs. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Both are tender.
"Softly and Tenderly." These are called.
That is a common
This
one.
is a
I'm not-
thematic favorite: salvation, obedience, heaven. "Just a Little Talk with Jesus." I don't. Yeah, we don't talk.
That was
sing
big
one
at the
too
church
much
I grew
anymore.
up at.
Yeah.
They sang it a lot.
"Now let us."
Yeah, they like the music of it.
mhm.
Hmm.
"Trust and Obey." That's
Definitely a
that is
common
big
one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
"No Tears in Heaven."
very
Mhm.
frequent.
"I Shall Not Be Moved." I don't think I've ever
No.
sung that in a worship service.
And
Our brethren do not sing.
I
That's a
have heard
protest
some
song.
really funny versions of it in protest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even this week.
Yeah.
And so those were when I ask it, basically about hymns. When I ask about it got weird when I ask it about like praise songs or more contemporary songs because it mentioned like "In Christ Alone." We sung that some. I don't even know what would our biggest two or three, what we would call maybe praise songs or contemporary songs be.
In terms, not necessarily our personal favorites, but
Right, but most frequently
popular
sung
As the Deer,
"As the Deer" would probably be one.
Jesus is Lord. I mean, these are old ones, but I still
Yeah.
hear them.
"I Will Call Upon the Lord" we sing a lot.
all the time. And just because we sing them a lot, that doesn't mean
Right,
that they're all over even our region.
right.
Walking Down Heaven's Road.
Hey, in the 80s,
That was
That
a
was
big
big
one.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that walking?
That was
down
new
the
stuff.
road?
In high school, our choir, that was the one we would sing as we came into the auditorium to start it as we were walking in. Yeah.
Because y'all were
Walking down the road,
I get it. I
actually
see
down
it.
the aisle. That Jim Landers, that was his idea.
All right. So we may try in a future week to talk about words that are not that familiar in songs. I think that would be a good one to talk about. Maybe we'll
Might learn something.
might learn something. Might accidentally go and learn something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jason, over to you.
Well, after our last episode, I had one of our best viewers, one of my favorite viewers, come up to me and say, "You know what I really miss and I would like to see? Jokes. Now that y'all are on air and where I can watch you, I really want to see people's reactions to jokes."
Okay.
So, Sheila, these jokes are for you. I hold in my hands a short list-ish of winter jokes
Winter jokes. Okay.
in preparation for the
wintertime.
coming winter storms. These are in no particular order. I may say one or two that I think are my favorite for the end.
All right.
The goal, make Patrick laugh.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to take my headphones off again because it is getting sweaty in here.
What did the icy road say to the car?
The icy road to the car.
Yeah. You want to go for a spin? Get it? Because it's
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm. Tires spin on ice.
now this is
She wants to see what it looks
And
like when we
yeah,
laugh.
she wants
Yeah.
laughter.
We're gonna
That's
get
a
there.
tall
We got to
order.
get to some better.
we're gonna get
jokes,
to some.
though.
I'm
Yeah.
warming us up. This one has a little band reference, so this might
ease
get
us into
Tim.
this. Yeah.
Okay.
Why did the young man keep his saxophone in the snow? Because he wanted to play that cool jazz.
You know, I find the setup funnier than the
Yeah.
punchline.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
laughing whenever
Yeah.
you pause. It
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
cracks me. Okay.
Well, that's the goal. I put that little caesur
good.
in there for that. Yeah,
It's a caesur. That's
it's a
what it
caesur.
is.
Yeah, it's a short caesur.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. How do the mountains stay warm, Tim?
How did the mountains stay warm?
Obviously, they put on their snow caps.
Snow crabs.
Snow caps. Wow, this is. Whew, I'm starting to sweat now.
Thank you.
Grady found the button.
Was this
All right.
the only list you found?
Here's the lamest one on the list.
Wait, there's a lamer one than
The lamest one?
This is the lamest. There's others
Okay.
there. Yeah. What falls in the winter but never gets hurt? Snow. Stupid. Yeah, snow.
That's more of a riddle than a joke.
It is, I guess. Yeah. Okay. That's getting hurtful. The crickets.
Sorry, Sheila.
Yeah, I don't think this is going. I don't
What
think
do
this is
you,
what Sheila requested.
Patrick, hush. What do you call it when a snowman throws a temper tantrum? A total meltdown. Man, if I could have just got the words out.
Yeah,
man.
that was what was wrong with that one.
That one
The
had
delivery.
opportunity.
Yeah. Why is Frosty always early? Because time waits for snowman. Get it? Time
Oh.
waits for snowman instead of
man.
no man. No.
Huh?
That is terrible.
Woo!
Tough crowd,
Tough
Jason.
crowd, yeah. What do you call a Yeti with a six pack?
A Yeti with a six pack.
Yeah. The abdominal snowman.
Ah, that's pretty good.
That's my
I like
favorite
that.
one so far.
I like that.
Abs.
Abdominal
The
snowman.
abdominal.
How did the Eskimo keep the ice blocks together when building his house? He glued them together.
Okay.
Okay.
Igloo.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting better.
Okay.
Yep.
I've got a couple I got to come back to that I've skipped. I'm trying to save the funny one for later.
I like to think that you brought this list and you knew the whole time there was only a funny one.
Look, it's hard to find good winter jokes. Okay, winter's a little depressing. What was
Maybe another theme would have
Yeah,
been in order.
right.
what was the? It's cold. It's winter. What was the snowman caught doing on the produce aisle? Picking his nose.
Picking his, yeah. I was gonna say some with a
there we
carrot.
go.
Yeah.
That's
There we
clever.
go.
Yeah. Let's see here. Why do ducks fly south in the winter? It's too far to walk.
Huh.
Too far.
Yeah,
Like they fly because it's
Yeah, I
easy.
get it.
Walking would
I get
take
it.
them
Yeah.
the whole
That's
season.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
get it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not
I
practical.
only have maybe 4 more, and I'm hoping one of them gets a laugh.
Number 4.
Why didn't the whistleblower go outside during the winter? He was Snowden.
Oh,
man.
no.
A political
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Edward,
yeah.
Edward Snowden.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a
Ooh.
whistleblower.
Boy, I
that
thought
man
these
was.
were Sheila. I really thought that I had brought some funny stuff tonight, and obviously these guys
Did
don't
you?
have their. Well,
you think
it's
that?
hard to follow the huge giant head and Mountain Dew cure.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. But I mean, this is how your jokes usually go. I mean,
No, I picture them a lot funnier in my mind's eye.
When you tell them
Yeah.
to yourself.
What does a snowman order at the Mexican restaurant?
Ooh.
Tim, you should know this. You
Yep.
frequent Mexican restaurants.
A burrito. Okay.
You gave it some extra.
Yeah.
on that
Yeah,
one.
I had
I'm
to,
gonna give you a little
I'm
bit
working
there.
hard at this point to get any kind of response.
Number 3.
Why is it hard to ski after a fresh snow?
Snow. Why did you say snow?
Snow. Because I'm having trouble speaking tonight. Why is it hard to ski after a fresh snow?
You did it again.
Snow? Snow.
Snow.
Why is it hard to
Snow.
ski after a fresh snow?
It's the fresh that gets
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
Because with great powder comes great responsibility. All right.
That's good.
We got 2 left.
Now this is the last
one.
Yeah. And this one I've
Drum-
saved for last.
drum roll, please.
I'm
Is
hoping
this-
to get it.
Do I have a drum roll over
I
here?
don't know.
Did
Wait,
you
wait.
hear about the snowman with a lisp? He came, he thaw, he conquered. That's all I got. He came, he thaw, he conquered.
Can't beat a lisp joke.
No.
Can't beat it.
Seriously.
Especially after you were saying snow.
Snow. We got a really big snow tonight.
Well, Sheila, you are welcome for the jokes. This is probably the last time it'll ever happen.
No, you promised that before.
Oh, me.
We'll just wait till
awkward in here.
spring comes around and we'll get some.
I'm just going to find some people to mock and maim, and that seems to get a laugh in this room. Patrick, I hope you have something funny.
Well, I don't. I didn't know we were talking funny stuff tonight. I have, I guess, an expose on how going to the movies has changed.
All right.
Oh, that sounds
Lay it on us.
interesting.
Wait, do you go to the movies?
Not anymore
Okay.
because it's changed.
Mhm.
So I don't watch Joe Rogan, but he has a very popular podcast and TV show. It's not TV. It's I
He's
guess,
got a few more
YouTube.
viewers than we do.
Yeah,
Just a few.
couple.
Yeah, we're getting there. But this past week, he had Matt Damon and Ben Affleck on. And those two don't go anywhere without the other. They're best friends, I think. But they just had a movie that released on Netflix. It's a good popcorn movie. I enjoyed it. But they were giving some sort of secrets about how movies have changed over the years since streaming services have become what they are. And Matt Damon was talking about the process for producing this movie for Netflix. And one of the things that they ask you for, they want you to repeat the plot 3 or 4 times through the movie. Because people at home are distracted. They're watching, they're looking at their phones while it's on the background. They're doing their laundry. They're doing dishes or cooking or whatever, and they're not watching the movie. You know, you go to the movie theater, and at one point, I think it was Ben in this interview called going to the movie kind of like church, and a little blasphemy there, but you know, you have a set time, you go, you pay attention, and then you leave, and it's so you go at your showtime, you watch the
You
movie.
do one thing at a time.
You do one thing. You watch the movie, and movies used to be 3 acts in general. And the third act is always where the action is. They spend Matt was saying that they spend the most money traditionally in the third act because you're closing it up, right? And so it starts a little slower and it ends in a frenzy. Well, they flip that for streaming services because in the first 5 or so minutes, they want the big thing because it sucks in viewers if they're not otherwise distracted. And as a former movie theater employee, this hurts my feelings a little bit because when we're at home, and look, I don't go to movie theaters anymore, not because I don't enjoy the experience. It's just too expensive. I mean, if I take all 4 of us and if I skip the concession stand, it's still $60. That's just,
and that's if you're at a traditional theater,
Right.
not one of the ones with the reclining seats and all.
You go to one of those, or you go to one of these IMAX or these. They have 4D theaters
You're
now.
spending $100 for 4 people, easy.
And you don't have control over who else is going to be in there with you.
Right.
And they can ruin the experience. One bad person can ruin the whole experience.
Right. So some of what they were talking about in this interview too was they call it the 32-day digital gap. That's a quote. That's what they call it. So movies used to spend 90 days in the theater. And when I worked at the theater, shout out to Regal Cinemas in Trussville. When I worked there, I mean, movies would start really popular. And then by the end, we might not even turn the movie on that night because it stayed for, they said 90 days. I don't know the actual.
So you're saying there was nights when it was empty theater, no one was there.
Yeah. I mean, you think about like a Monday night work, just work night, normal, not holiday. And the movie's been out for 90 days. There's nobody. There's probably nobody in there.
Well, and a really big movie would go for years, maybe. I remember seeing Star Wars: A New Hope in the theater, but it came out in '77 when I was 2 years old. So I wasn't 2.
Yeah.
And I started realizing I was probably 5 or 6 and it was still in the theaters.
Yeah. Or they do re-releases.
That might have been it, but
I mean, they're,
kind of feel like it's still out
certainly
there.
there were big blockbusters that stayed out for months and months.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
right.
sure. So now about 32 days, it stays in the theater and then it moves to a streaming service where
like immediately.
where I watch it. And it might not move to a streaming service where just part of my package that I pay for it's just included. It might move to Amazon Prime and I rent it for $5.99 or even $20, $19.99. But if there's 4 of us sitting in the room watching something for $20, that's a killer deal compared to going.
Yeah.
I just thought that
But the whole redoing and then having to go back and retell the story, I guess, I think about things like dream sequences and flashbacks and all that kind of thing. And I'll be looking for those now, right? Because, there's got to be some mechanism to go back and retell the story.
They were talking about how a lot of times the streaming producers want even the characters to narrate what they're doing. So they'll be overly verbose because you're not relying on visual cues to know that something's happening. They'll say it
because people are looking down at their
people
phone.
The movie's up there and
taking a nap.
Yeah, right.
That's why kids like to watch with the captions on.
Well,
because they can read the caption real fast and then look at TikTok.
And that's another thing of on Netflix. And we were talking about this a couple episodes ago. I just lost the name of it. The most popular show, K-pop Demon Hunters, is a Korean show, I believe, and it's subtitled. And is it subtitled?
Dubbed.
Okay, it's dubbed, or you can watch it with subtitles. So things like Squid Games was before K-pop was Netflix's most popular. I'm going to call it a TV show, but it was a series, and it was in Korean, and you could watch it dubbed or captioned. And so now there's thousands of hours of TV and movies that people are starting to watch, and sort of this this stigma of I can't understand it is gone, because people are now watching all this content from not the US. So the whole game is changing, because they might do something different in South Korea, like Squid Games or some other shows, or Japan or whatever. And
but we can watch them here
But we
now.
can watch
because
them here
they're
now.
either dubbed or they're
Yeah.
subtitled.
So if you're watching something subtitled, though, it's kind of somewhat hard to be distracted.
I would think that was the
The
explanation I
subtitle-
heard about it, but I don't understand that, because you're having to lock in even more to
Mhm.
read.
Yeah.
But
And to
I
me,
guess
the
it's just an extra
subtitles are
layer.
a distraction.
Yeah,
I want to
'cause
see
you-
what's going on.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But
But-
that's our age. Because if
Yeah,
you look
that
at the
is true.
stats, the number of millennials and Gen Zers that use
Watch
subtitles are through the roof. And then our generation up uses very little subtitles.
I leave the subtitle. I'm such an old person, but I leave the subtitles on all the time now, because the way they're mixing, this is a whole nother thing too. The way they mix the sound for these streaming services,
Yes.
I can't understand
A lot of
sometimes what they're
whispering.
saying. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey,
I can't
yo,
understand it.
Did you find that? Did you? And
Mhm.
I can't understand what they're saying. I turned on subtitles the other night just because they kept whispering.
Yeah.
And you turn it up real loud so you can hear them, and then all of a sudden there's an explosion. You wake the whole neighborhood up.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
it goes to a commercial and that roof comes off your house.
Yes.
Mhm.
Now that is, yeah.
Yep.
Now that brings me to another thing that has changed. Our home viewing experience is so much better than it used to be. That's another reason the theaters are having so much trouble
Mhm.
because used to the theaters were competing with a little 15-inch box,
Yep.
maybe black and white or in color,
And the sound system now
with
is
3 channels.
I saw
is
it.
$200 at Walmart, and I've got
Yeah.
for me, I've got plenty of sound. I don't need
Right.
a 90 speaker system.
I walked through Best Buy the other day looking, I had time to kill and was walking around looking. They had a 95-inch TV, 95-inch
Yeah.
TV in there for, I think, $1,300.
Mm-hmm.
95-inch TV,
There's a
which made me want to buy it because that's bigger than the one I have now. But
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
there's a meme that's floating around of in today's world where everything's gotten so expensive, TVs have just gotten cheaper. I mean, Walmart. I was in there this weekend, and a 65-inch TV is less than $400.
Yeah. And my first
Wow.
big TV that I bought, which was 55 or 60 inches, get the button ready. I think I paid,
Yeah.
and now you can
Sounds
get
about
one
right.
for $300 or $400.
Right.
Yeah.
I bought a big cabinet. It was a modern cabinet, but it was a big cabinet TV, and it had like a 35-inch screen in it, which was enormous,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
and it cost like
Yeah. It's like a rear projection one.
That's like getting your lint
it wasn't even it was a
cleaned
true
out of
cube.
your vent.
It was
Oh,
a cube.
okay, yeah.
And
Yeah.
in a cabinet, and so it had a great picture, but wow.
And not only was it that small, but do you remember when it died, you'd have to move it? Those
Yep.
things weighed 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Someone came with little bitty casters on them.
That didn't
Yeah.
work at all
Right.
on
No, they
carpet.
just scratch,
Bent
or
and-
they'd
Yeah.
scratch your
Right.
floor. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awful. But he brought up something that bothers me, though. So we all have our streaming services that we subscribe to. We probably have some differences when we do. I'm tired of paying for a subscription.
Mhm.
Still-
Everything's a subscription.
Still
these days.
having to watch ads, and then I want to see a movie, and I've got to rent said movie to see it on my paid subscription streaming service.
Hmm.
That drives me
Sounds like
crazy.
you're talking about Amazon.
It's all about licensing.
It is Amazon. Amazon is a bad one for that. But
Okay,
all of them
okay.
are getting that way. If you look, even Hulu's gotten that way.
Amazon pulled a little bait and switch though, because Amazon Prime used to include Prime Video,
That's right.
and it was commercial free, like traditional Netflix
Mhm.
and others are. And now what they did, they basically said, "Oh, no, just kidding. Now that all of you people are hooked and subscribed, we're going to start showing you ads unless you give us another $3 a month.
Unless you pay for the Prime Plus or whatever they call it.
And it's $2.99 a month. It's not like it's a ton of money, but it just feels bad.
That's on top of what you already paid.
Yeah,
It wasn't the deal.
Right. Wasn't the deal. And the deal changed. And that's unfortunately happening all over the place because Netflix has an ad plan, Hulu, Disney Plus, all of those have an ad plan now.
And let's be honest, the four of us all pay enough to Amazon every month. They should be giving us.
They should. Indeed.
Well, I'm gonna close this up with my favorite quote out of this interview, and then I'll give y'all a little tip. All right, so Matt Damon lamented through this interview that our brains have been, and I quote, pureed into runny applesauce, end quote, leading to the rise of what he called Tide Pod cinema. Films designed to be half watched while doing laundry or scrolling social media or the dishes or whatever you're doing. I thought at first when he said that, I was thinking
eating
Tide Pods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which also is a little bit fitting here, I think, because if you don't have the attention span to watch a movie, I can't.
But I mean, the Hallmark channels made millions of dollars for years making movies like that you don't have to pay attention to, but you know the plot, you know how it is.
Well, because there is all the same plot.
That's right.
So I thought the interview was fairly insightful. It is not censored. It's a little inappropriate, but if you can
those are some pretty good quotes
stuff.
Considering that's an interview and that's something he wrote down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty graphic way to describe the state of affairs. I'm sure it really bothers these movie makers, especially the ones that have been around a while, like Damon and Affleck. At the same time, you can go make your indie movie, especially those guys. They have all their money.
Right.
Go make your indie movie because that industry is given a lot more space because of streaming.
Yeah. Well,
go make your movie that only
a
few thousand people will watch if you're devoted to the art. They still want blockbusters.
Right. The other thing that I, not in this interview, but that I've heard is blockbusters are not what they used to be now, because what would happen is they would spend hundreds of millions of dollars on this movie, and it would do whatever it does in the theaters, the box office. And then they would get all the DVD sales on the back end. And then when it went overseas, DVDs usually are what would shoot up and carry a blockbuster that maybe didn't do great in the US. Nobody buys DVDs anymore because it all goes to streaming in 32 days.
But you're seeing movies cross the $1 billion mark.
You are, but they have, but they're,
what was the one, Zootopia 2?
Yeah, but they're having to do it in the box office now. But
they're getting it done.
But they're getting it done. Now,
I'm not feeling sorry for them.
I wonder how much of something like a Zootopia though is because there's no
merchandise sales.
Well, but how often are movies that you see doing this now are some kind of sequel? Zootopia 2, Frozen 3 or whatever. Wicked is a remake of another story. It's all remakes. Where's the original stuff anymore?
1974.
Right.
I guess this is a remake, but
I don't know.
Matt Damon's coming out he's going to be in the Odyssey, which is going to be a big movie.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually what this whole thing was about. He was there to promote the Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
And it turned into this sort of lamenting of, really his livelihood. That's how he's made his name. All right. Well, one tip to close this out before we head to a quick break. If you subscribe to streaming services, this does not apply to Amazon because they wrap it up in Amazon Prime. And this doesn't apply to Netflix because they don't do any sort of discounts ever, just as a corporate practice. But if you watch Black Friday sales, so the week of Black Friday or sometimes on Black Friday, you can usually get Disney Plus / Hulu for anywhere from $4 to $5 per month for a year. Stars was $12 for a year, so $1 a month. Paramount Plus this Black Friday I guess Walmart's kind of bundling with them. So you got a $50 Walmart Plus membership, which is their competitor to Amazon Prime, but you get Paramount Plus with it. And Peacock had some sale. Peacock, I think it's just called Peacock.
No plus?
I don't think, is it Peacock Plus?
No, it's just
I think
Peacock.
it's just Peacock.
How many times can we say Peacock? It's like starting to lose its meaning now. They had some sale. So if you get them on Black Friday, usually there's a year's worth of something for pretty cheap. And then, the week of Thanksgiving this year, you cancel them and you just sign back up again. Might have to change your email address, go get a new Gmail or something. But that's what we do.
That's brilliant.
And, I pay probably full price for Netflix and Amazon. And those are probably the two that I pay full price for. And the rest of them, not worth it. If
they're coming up, but they're still not as high as cable was.
If you pay full price for all of them, probably as much as cable. But if you do that, or if like Apple TV, I think it's $12.99 a month. They don't really do sales because it's Apple. I will wait until the show I want to watch is like the season is finished. I'll subscribe for a month and watch, binge watch it because it's done. Because a lot of these streaming services are now trying to go back to the whole weekly release thing to try to hold subscribers, because people sign up once a year for a month, watch the back catalog. So that's my little tip. You heard it here first.
Good advice
on passages.
You had one more funny story in your pocket.
Do you really want to hear it?
Do I want to laugh? Yes.
Well, there's a lot of pressure now, but you may have heard this one. I saw a book out there, and I think it was Our Lady's Study. Before I came in here, and the title of the book was "Do You See Me?" And it reminded me of this story when we lived over here by the cemetery. We had an eccentric neighbor, an old hippie that lived next door to us. His name was Craig, and he was always stoned or something. I think he had a brain injury also. He lived alone, and he always had young people over at his house. There was some weird stuff going on over there all the time. But he was kind of a scary guy. And one of those years that I was in Russia for a long time, she was home by herself, Julie was. And it was pouring down rain. And somebody starts beating on her door. And so she doesn't get it. It's 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Beating on the door, thunder, rain, lightning. Finally, she's worried that somebody needs some help. So she opens the door, and there's Craig standing in the rain on my porch, asking her if he can borrow a hammer. And she said something like, "Craig, I don't feel safe. It's late. I don't know where a hammer is. You need to go home. Close the door." Well, a couple days later, she's at the grocery store, and she sees Craig, our neighbor. You see your neighbor. I mean, I know sometimes we duck and hide, but she was going to be friendly. So she went up to him. "Hey, Craig, did you ever find that hammer?" And he turns around and he says, "Do I know you?" She said, "It's Julie, your neighbor." He goes, "Do I know you?" That's what it was like to live next to Craig.
Oh, wow.
So he knew her well enough to knock on her door at 11 o'clock at night, but not to know her broad daylight at the grocery store.
You saying that he asked for a hammer, Taylor has a saying he always says about a hammer, and I'm texting him right now. Oh, yeah. He said anything can be used as a hammer. He said if you hit it hard enough, anything can be used as a hammer. So
it's true.
Made me laugh.
Well, do I know you?
I know
Craig.
you?
Was Craig the one that lived, like if you're looking out of your house, was he?
On the left.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were some weirdos on the right too, right?
Yeah.
There was some weird stuff over there.
We had to get off that road.
That's been 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Not quite, but almost. It was after Ava was born, because she was the reason we decided to get out of that.
Well, but y'all were living there when she was born, and y'all had been there since you moved here, right?
Right. We lived there 7 years and then moved to where we are now. So
we had that sketchy little dirt path I could walk from Oliver Crossing to your
we could
house.
get, we did it one time. We were like, oh, this poison ivy
got
and
poison ivy.
ant beds are not worth it.
Chiggers, snake bites. It was bad.
You just had a bicycle. It would have been more fun.
Yeah, maybe.
Come out of there with
I
a
tell
bunch
you
of
who would know that
scratches, too.
path is Jonathan Layton,
Yeah, that
especially back in the COVID days.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Jonathan knew Oliver Crossing better than anybody on
He
earth.
knew all of the little Cahaba as it surrounded Oliver Crossing.
That was his playground.
Yep, absolutely.
whose property it was safe to fish from,
Mm-hmm.
whose it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Grouchy old people.
Well, time for a quick break. And,
Yeah.
and
I think
we'll be
we've hit a
back.
lull.
We have, and I guess we'll be back with something. It'll be a surprise for as much
All of us.
for all of you as it is for us.
Need much, I can promise you that. Whatever clothes you wear or how you style your hair is fine with me. Don't need a plan, 'cause I've got you. Pack your bags. Let's get on it now. We can get out of this time. Watch the August sun sink down till the daylight comes around.
All right, well, welcome back. That was a lovely little tune by my friends, the Marshoots. And Drew, I think you've got our quotation for tonight.
We noticed that we've stayed out of politics so much on the podcast that we've never done a quotation on politics. And so I thought it was time that we try to find something. And we talked about several possibilities this afternoon. One being, we decided not to do this one, but I've got to read it, by Mark Twain. He says, "Reader, suppose you were an idiot, and suppose you were a member of Congress, but I repeat myself."
I like that.
I don't know that we could have commented on that for very long, but I think it's irrelevant.
I would have said
Passage.
it may have been true in his time, and I'm fairly certain it's pretty true today.
Well, Jason, some things never change.
No.
But we decided to land on something a little more serious by John Adams. And this passage reads, "Democracy never lasts long. It soon wastes, exhausts, and murders itself."
It's like he had a crystal ball looking into the new millennia.
It does, but it also goes back to the debates about how much involvement the federal government would have over the states. And I'm trying to remember my history, and it's not working. But John Adams, I want to say he was more on the anti-federalist side of things.
He was
I know
more on
Alexander
the states'
had-
rights kind of thing.
Yeah. And I may have that totally flip-flop. I know Alexander Hamilton was a big Federalist. And I know a lot of the Southern guys, Jefferson being one of them, was more states. You know, slavery was a part of that. I don't know if that was the whole thing, but it was a big part of it, unfortunately.
John Adams
I'll go
was
watch
the leading-
movie and report back to you next week.
This says
Okay.
John Adams was the leading member of the Federalist Party,
Okay,
serving
so
as
he
its
was-
presidential nominee in 76.
So I did have that flip-flop.
In,
So I'm,
in
first of all,
76.
1796, sorry.
Yeah.
so we could start by
I
looking at it
can't
that
read
way,
or
you know,
talk tonight.
putting that into the context of his political leanings. He was a Federalist, which meant he was more big government than some of the other signers of the Declaration of Independence. As they were trying to figure out what kind of government they would have, he wanted more centralized government. And maybe to him, democracy was more of a bottom-down concept. You know, the United States is not really a democracy. Democracy is like majority rules, and it can be very bad.
It's a
for the minorities.
representative republic.
Right.
Yeah.
We live in a republic. So we vote. There's a democratic element to what we do. We vote for our representatives, and then they go and pass the laws, and we elect an executive.
So you're saying a true democracy, everyone would vote on everything.
Yeah, it's like raise of hands. Sorry, minorities, you lose again. You know this. I'm not just talking racial minorities, but that is a big part of it. But there are all kinds of minorities that would get voted out.
Well, Christians are becoming a minority in some ways.
Well, one day we could be.
The evangelicals.
I wouldn't say that we are now, but one day we could be,
Getting
and that would be a
close,
problem. Our rights would not be protected in a pure democracy.
You know, you might, if your rights weren't protected in that setting, you might have a situation where people go in and openly riot during a church service or something like that.
That could happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it did happen last Sunday in Minneapolis. Also, the Electoral College. People come to pieces over that. Every presidential election, when their guy doesn't get elected, they get upset because, well, he didn't win the popular vote. Now, that wasn't the case this last round, but before that, it's rare that the guy winning the popular vote wins the election. And people get all up in arms about it, but they don't understand we're not a democracy, we're a republic. And states like Alabama wouldn't have a whole lot of say in things.
No.
But we do things a lot differently down here than they do up in New York. And we should have more of a say than we would have in a pure democracy.
So Adams was a heavy studier of like ancient Athens. I can't. Thanks,
Hey,
Jason.
it's 2 minutes to 10.
Yeah.
You get a
My
pass on
mush
that.
mouth is passed around.
Ancient Athens, Greece, those, the Roman Empire, where they were either a republic or in Athens' case, they were a pure democracy where every non-slave voted on a council for everything, kind of what you were saying, Tim, of in a pure democracy. And every single one of them, fell basically to sort of the wiles and the whims of the people instead of what is good from the government as a whole. And I think that's one of the hard things people get into when they're thinking about even just issues today of the government's got a hard job. Now, I'm not going to try to pretend that money doesn't get you elected or that people aren't corrupt. I mean, there's parts of that, but there's got to be some good ones. And it's sort of like you do something, you make a policy and you're going to make some people mad and you're going to make some people happy and you're going to help some people in the middle. And you're never going to get like a full everyone all in the one policy kind of thing.
So I'm glad you brought that context up, because at the onset, we need to say that what Adams was probably talking about here is not what we have in America today.
No.
He was probably arguing against a pure democratic situation based on what he had seen in history. And he noticed that these democracies where everybody got equal say didn't last very long. And he wanted something that had more permanence. And we're looking at our 250th birthday coming up this year. This is the year, so this is a timely quotation. And that still seems early it seems young compared to nations around the globe.
Yeah, I guess that would be the question is, in this context, is that lasting long? Or, or is it? I mean, there are always some signs that feel like cracks in what's going on with our government, right? I mean, we've seen a few in the last several years that seem like, are we beginning to fall apart here? Now, I would say, fortunately, in the large, I mean, our government still works. Are there things that we wish were very different about it? Absolutely. But, it still has its checks and balances, and it's designed, no matter how much we want to talk about like the king and all that kind of thing, who's in power right now is going to go away in 3 years, and it's not set up for someone to rule, or even if you put quotes around rule for an extended period of time.
Right. And you have the other branches of government that are constantly running interference. Every time Trump signs an executive order, there's some judge saying, no, you can't do that. And it delays things. It's certainly not a dictatorship or a monarchy as it's accused of being.
So just a quick AI search while we were talking. So we are very young. So the oldest still surviving nation civilization is China. They're around 3,500 years of continuous statehood,
but not a democracy.
but not a democracy.
Not
But
a democracy, and it's changed. Its government has changed
They've
forms
changed many governments.
times.
But I mean, you start looking back. Egypt was, around 3,200 years, something like that. The Byzantine Empire, 1,000 years. But there were changes internally with that, and we're at a point now where I don't know. I feel like we are a very fractured country. I think we've got some things that work really, really well for us. All of us in this room have traveled internationally some. We've seen what the rest of the world lives like. And I think we're blessed to have been born where we're born. And so we can't lose sight of, we're sitting in a room tonight, 4 friends under lights doing a podcast, having a great time. We've got things pretty easy.
And we can say whatever we want.
to, right?
But there are some things that we see that are frightening to us, and that people that totally disagree with us on our faith, our other views, see in their lives that are frightening to them. One of the problems I have, and with this quote, he says that it fails because of fatigue, it wastes, it fatigues, and there was another one. It becomes
Waste, exhausts, and
murders itself. We have so much. We're in a point where there's not a lot of love for one another and patience for one another. I can remember a time where if Tim and I disagreed on something, we could have a good, healthy debate. I think to some of the great debates of the 1900s that happened, where you had people that were truly opposed to one another, could not agree on anything, but they could be civilized towards one another. And that becoming murderous, it's starting to get a little frightening in some places. I mean, I think about what would happen in this building if during a Sunday morning worship, there was a group of people that were anti-Christian, that came in here, anti-government, anti-whatever, that came in and just disrupted and started protesting. I would be terrified. And we've got problems with our government. But there's governments around the world that are corrupt. One of the things that drives me nuts about our current one is the fact that you can have career politicians. I think that's going to be the downfall, is you don't ever have fresh blood up there. You have whoever has the most money can get the most donations.
And seems to be the oldest.
And
they get super wealthy while in political office.
Yeah.
Right.
There's something questionable.
Shouldn't happen.
It's not like, was it Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? Was that the name of the old movie? Where he goes, he serves a small term, eventually comes back home, I believe in that one.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
Yeah.
And that this quote mentions how government can waste and exhaust itself. And, Patrick was mentioning earlier about politicians, the whole idea of being a public servant, right? And doing things for a noble cause, for what you believe in. If we could just really feel like that people in Congress and politicians in general were doing what they believed in, even if it's diametrically opposed to what we believe in, I can have respect for that, right? What I can't have respect for is these people who are taking this job, becoming independently wealthy, which means that somebody's in your pocket because they don't get paid like that. They get paid well, but they don't get paid to get rich. And you look at these situations where somebody's been in Congress for 35 years and, when they came in, they had nothing, and then their net worth is $50 million.
Or more.
And it's like, how does that happen?
Insider trading.
It does not
Lobbyists
math.
greasing the pockets.
Right. And so, it's just that whole part where it says that, that government can waste and exhaust itself, on top of those things just being wrong, they are highly unethical and they don't result in the best results because people aren't doing what they believe in. They're doing what benefits them.
I think a lot of them, though, Tim, start out doing what they believe in, and then they get caught up in the machine.
In the machine.
Mm.
They have to get reelected, which means you got to grease palms, which means you got to spend more time with people who may not have the country's best interests at heart. They have their own best interests at heart. And then you kind of start, you hear so many times, well, this is the way it's done in Washington. You hear that enough times, you start believing it and you just give up. And you
Right.
start playing the game, and you're just one of the others.
Or you begin to learn
part of the problem.
what we don't necessarily know, which is how does that game work behind the scenes?
Yeah.
And it becomes
There's
so
a lot we don't know,
alluring
yeah.
and enticing.
Or dangerous.
Or dangerous, right? Who knows what's going on, right?
There's a lot of blackmail,
Sure.
a lot of, like you said, things we don't know.
Well, I think originally when the government was established, it was not made to be a career.
No.
You were going to be a public servant. You served for a while. I was trying to look it up really quick, but I want to say it was George Washington that they were going to try to elect to another term
Yeah.
or put him in and he was like, no.
Because the Constitution did not have a two-term limit for
No.
president.
Not
He
yet.
established that, and everybody respected the precedent he set until FDR, and then FDR was like, I'm going out in a pine box, and he did.
Yep.
I think when there are other interests being served in the greater good, and I think there are a lot of, that's why the lobbyists are all over Washington. That's why the companies have all their lawyers and everybody in Washington to influence these people. You're not serving the greater good. You're not necessarily serving the security of the country. And people see that. And then you've got, here's where they eat themselves and become fatigued and murderous, is you've got them saying what I would consider to be slanderous things about one another. And that's both parties. Both parties say awful things about the people on the other side of the aisle in public, in the public eye. And they create these divisions, these sides, and people are going to take a side.
Yeah.
I just have tried to delete most of my news apps and
Got to.
just live in blissful ignorance.
The 24-hour news cycle
Is a problem.
Is a huge problem. So this quotation comes from a letter that Adams wrote, and through the letter he references some of these things he was studying and things he didn't want to happen, where these ancient governments failed. That, like I was talking about earlier, there's a word here that I'm not sure I know how to pronounce, so I'm gonna ask Google to pronounce it real quick.
Demagoguery.
Demagoguery.
Mm.
So a demagogue is a politician, and gaugery is political activity or practices that seek support by appealing to the desires and prejudices of ordinary people rather than using rational argument.
Like a populist.
Yeah, well, and that's what falls apart, I think, over time, where it gets fatigued and murders itself when you have like a pure democracy, because the people start getting selfish, or they have their desires and their prejudices, and it just all crumbles because you get, and we see a little bit of that today, where you get the majority making a rule for the minority, and
Everybody's voting for their own interests.
right, instead of sort of a rational argument.
Yeah, instead of the collective good. And that's what people do, and that's what Adams was predicting. And I think he was warning about a pure democracy, but I think some of what he says applies to any government. And those examples Jason gave were interesting. China, 3,500 years old. But I go back to the point that the government has changed radically
Well, they've
over
been
and
through
over and
multiple
over again.
empires, dynasties.
Yeah. And will undergo more. And, it's just interesting and scary to think about what our next evolution will be. And are we on the cusp of it? I don't want to be an alarmist, but I picked this quote partly because of what's going on in Minneapolis. And I've often thought, how long is Texas going to hang on? When are they going to say, I think we're going to make "Don't Mess with Texas" the Constitution over here, and just shut down their borders all the way around, and make some deals with Mexico, and go it on their own. I think that is illegal, but I mean, if you're going to separate from a country, why would that country's law stop you? I also think that even Texas depends on the federal government more than it could sustain without that help. Minneapolis, I never thought of Minneapolis as a possible place for the beginning of a civil war. I mean, I always knew it was really liberal and different from, and you know, they hated Trump, and Tim Walz ran against him, and they're up there. But you know, the things I see going on there, where the governor and the mayor are talking about bringing the National Guard in to fight a federal law enforcement agency.
It's terrifying.
That's scary stuff.
Well, and I feel like people are more fractured than they've ever been. I think we're insulated by it to an extent because of where we live and who we associate with. I mean, my friends are all friends that I know from essentially church and a couple other things that I do in life. But I'm surrounded by a lot of fairly like-minded people. We disagree on a lot of things. And we're in a very conservative state, a state that still puts faith as something that's important. I say faith with air quotes. I think we're very insulated from some of the fracturing and division that's going on. We feel it. I think there's times that we see it here in this state. But if I were living in Minneapolis right now, I'd be terrified.
Now, you guys say y'all have unplugged from the news, but have you seen the protesters? I mean,
I've not seen any. I've heard a couple of clips from them. I've not seen any video.
Anybody see what happened in the church?
I was actually just reading about that.
Those don't seem like normal people.
No.
I mean, there's this theory, and I think it's correct, that these people are getting paid to do this because they show up, they're there all day long. Who can afford to do that? I know I couldn't, if there was a cause I truly, really believed in, I might be able to take a couple days off for it. But then I got to get back to work so that I can keep my job so I can feed my family because I have responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Well, luckily, though, you've got 5 other days of the week you could go.
Well, true. Yes. Yeah, as long as it's not on a Sunday or a Wednesday night.
You're good. Yeah.
Wednesday during the day is fine.
Just
Wednesday night.
It's got to be close enough I can get home by.
You hit.
That's right.
I think you hit a little bit. I think you hit the nail a little bit on the head here. Of professional protesters are absolutely a thing, and I mean, over the past year, I've seen. Be a little careful here, but I have seen this. Not past year, past couple of years. At work, I have seen this where there is an unnamed money source out there that will fly you across the country to a protest, and your job is to not protest in a peaceful manner where maybe you got a sign outside of an office building of some kind or something, and you're just kind of picketing. Your job is to come and cause chaos.
The word I keep hearing since that church event is disrupt.
Yeah,
disrupt.
That's the word they'll use, but it causes chaos, and they do things like this thing you're talking about in Minneapolis. They entered a worship service protesting ICE, and isn't a church sort of a sanctuary in some ways? And so
they claimed that one of the pastors of that church worked for ICE or worked with ICE.
Okay.
So I don't know if he was a chaplain or he had some special relationship with ICE.
Well, at least that one was not disruptive, but not violent. I've seen some of these where they're vandalizing and causing damage to people, places, and things. And then when they get arrested, and you see, you kind of see the news article. They're in Minneapolis, but they're from. What's the furthest place in the U.S. they can be from? Somewhere in South California or something. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that they were, as journalists will do, they'll dig a little. They were funded by some, blank face somewhere And like, who's got the money to do that? And also, what is your end goal?
And that's not
there?
the spirit of the First Amendment.
No.
Sure, free speech, that's great. That's what makes us special. I think we've got it in ways that no other country in the world has it. But this is an abuse of it. And this is exactly what John Adams was talking about. This is where we have the power to murder ourselves.
We do.
That's what freedom gives us. So when you get that freedom, and I know it's cliche, but with great freedom comes great responsibility.
With
And
great
without
powder comes great responsibility.
Freedom is power.
Yeah.
So
Spider-Man would be so proud of both of you.
I was actually talking about my snow joke. About
let me
why is
be-
it best to go skiing after a
Yeah,
a
let me
good
be more
freshener
clear.
powder, great
Uncle
powder.
Ben would be so proud of you.
Yeah.
Not Spider-Man.
oh, yes.
Just in case anyone wants to come at me on that
You got to be careful.
with a soda joke.
Yes. Somebody is, how did he put it? Taking receipts?
Yes, he's
Keeping receipts?
keeping receipts.
Yeah.
So that's what John Adams was talking about. You know, this experiment in democracy, air quotes, the republic that we had, they knew how dangerous it was because they'd seen the other side. It was something they had not grown up with. It was new. They saw where things could head. And I think we've just gotten so comfortable that we've forgotten all those lessons that were learned. And now we're, committing suicide, as he puts it, murdering ourselves with our own freedoms.
Well, just a modern day example that's the complete opposite of what's going on here is right now there are protests all over the place in Iran. They've cut the internet off and they're killing people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thousands of people.
That's the benefit of what we have here is even if we totally disagree with the people that are out there doing these things, they have a right to be out there doing it because they have that First Amendment. Do they have a right to destroy property? I don't think so. Do they have a right to disrupt other people's lives? I don't know. I don't think that's
They're
right.
not allowed to go into churches on Sunday. That's against the law.
But they can go out and chant and scream
in a public place.
They can burn the flags. I mean, they have said some awful things about this country, the country that allows them to do this, that they live in. But there are places in the world, if that happens, you're disappeared.
Yes.
You're made to go
the
away.
Bullets are not rubber.
No. And it's scary to think about the other extreme. That's what I worry about it's like a pendulum swinging. We see it swinging to where there's all this chaos. Well, how does that right back? What does that look like? Because a pendulum never stops in the middle. It swings right back to the other side. And the other side is we lose a lot of these rights and freedoms that we have. And that's a scary, scary thing. I don't know. I'm still very thankful to have been born and raised in the United States of America.
Amen.
It's not perfect, but it's a pretty great place to live.
There was a whole campaign built around draining the swamp, right? And, with the whole idea of, trying to change our federal government to clean it up, right? And, sometimes it's hard to see how that can be reformed. To your pendulum example, right? Is it just too swampy to be is there anything there that's not swamp? There's, I'm sure there's still people dedicated to the cause, but, it is, when we think about it in terms of our kids and our grandkids and maybe another generation after that, it's like, what will their USA be like?
When Atlas shrugs, what will our kids have to deal with?
We always comfort ourselves by saying, well, it's always been bad. But then you look back at the big scandal of the 70s, Watergate, that looks like nothing compared to what happens these days.
It's like they kicked him out of office for that.
They broke into a house, right? No, it wasn't a house. It was a hotel. Watergate's a hotel. And they were doing what? He wanted to see what their numbers were. That's it? And he resigned over that?
That's called a Thursday night in Washington now.
Yeah. So maybe it is worse.
I feel more uncomfortable with the current just tensions in this country than I have felt in my however many years I've been paying attention
You
to
can
it.
feel it. You can feel it.
It's the number one conversation in the office.
Right.
How's your eyes doing? Well, let's talk politics. That's what it sounds
No,
like
boy.
from everybody.
Without sounding, too crabby old guy, I think the fundamental thing goes back to if we can just have differing opinions, that's one thing. But this feel that has come in recent years that your opinion that differs from mine is cause for us to war with each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
all we can do, if we're not on the same side, we must hate one another.
We cannot agree to disagree.
Right.
Just can't happen.
There's no thinking going on. I don't understand why we can't have different opinions and talk about them, and then both of us learn through that process.
And I'll listen to you if you're willing to have a conversation. But if you're in my face yelling and screaming,
That means you're scared that you're wrong.
I'm not going to listen.
Why would
I'm not
somebody
gonna
do that
listen.
unless they're scared they're wrong?
You can stand on your argument and make a quiet, comfortable conversational debate. That's perfect. I'll listen to you all day long. And I may never agree with you, but I'll listen and I might learn something. But if you're up in my face yelling and screaming and telling me that I'm stupid and that I'm whatever, I'm not listening to a word you're saying.
Yeah. Troubling times. We don't talk politics a whole lot on this show.
There's
And
your
this
song.
is why.
Yeah.
There's your song, Troublesome Times
No,
Are
we're not gonna sing
Here.
that song
I'm
tonight.
sorry.
No, thank you.
Okay.
We'll pass.
Even after they took the second verse out, I still don't like it.
Yeah.
Got a good beat though.
Did not make our list.
No, it didn't.
I
Well, is that it?
think it's a wrap.
I'm feeling
right.
depressed. I feel like I should have saved one joke after talking politics just to lighten things up. And I don't have any.
Well, we need to remember that next time and save a.
yeah, I'll save one. Yeah.
Now I know why we have not in 100 episodes done a politics quotation.
Yeah.
Actually, this is pretty good going back to the founding fathers, John Adams. And
Pretty smart guys, I'm pretty sure.
oh man, those guys were amazing.
And
They were
and
amazing.
Brazen, brave, courageous.
Sometime when we have more time, let's talk about what the people who, the people involved in the Boston Tea Party, what they would think about income taxes. Maybe we should save that for April, mid-April.
I would
taxes.
really like to never, ever have to talk about taxes on this show because you would have to mute me.
It's terrible.
We'd have to use the beep a lot. Jason, what did you pay in the last quarter?
No, it and the beeping would not be for the amounts. It might be for what we normally use the beep for. What other people normally use the beep
Yeah,
for.
that's right.
There is no profanity
This is
in
a
this
family
room.
show,
Not
Jason.
It's a
here.
family show.
Not
No,
here.
Yeah.
Never.
Hey, Jason, what does snowman win at the Olympics?
What's that?
Cold medals.
Another pun.
Tim, leave the jokes to me.
You said we needed one
Hey,
more.
You want us to laugh at yours, and then
Tim.
one is thrown back to you, and you don't laugh?
That was pretty good. I'll remember
Okay,
that. I'll
okay.
tell it to a patient tomorrow. It's kind of like, here's one. This is not cold weather since the winter jokes didn't hit. What do you call a cow's knees? Burger joints. Thank you.
Oh,
All right. I like that.
right. That's a good one to go out on.
Yep.
Listen, for more jokes and quotes, I have to say quotes there, so it rhymes with jokes.
Uh-huh.
Send snacks.
Joke.
That's how you get it.
Please.
Joketations and quotations.
For joketations and quotations, send snacks.
I noticed that a new word showed up on the sign behind you. I have scoured the room for the leftovers from last week's snacks, but I don't
know
see
what
them
happened to
anywhere.
them.
Somebody got them.
I may have finished them off the other day.
Yeah.
In the second 100 episodes, maybe a little comeback of some couch mix might
Yeah.
be interesting. We
It's a
should give it some
goal
consideration.
fell
for
off. We really
2026.
fell off the map on that one.
Passengers, we would be willing to accept your recipes for some couch mix if you
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gluten free,
submit.
please. No, I'm just kidding.
Ooh.
extra gluten.
We can't put any restrictions
we
on
can
them.
we can make Jason a sugar-free one,
No, I'm just kidding.
and then the rest of us will eat better.
Hey, my sugar is in a lot better place than it was 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, we might. Need
In fact, they weighed me at the doctor the other day, and she told me my weight, and I said, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah, look." I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." So
Yeah.
it was good.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I still hadn't got below that double nickel or the 200, not double nickel, but the 200 pound. But you know,
Double.
what's a
You weigh
what's double
550
nickel?
pounds.
10 cents.
100,
Yeah.
yeah, 250. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I am.
Yeah, we're it's
tired.
time to wrap this thing
How
up.
about next week you bring all your test results and we'll talk about it on the
Oh,
show.
I've got
No.
some numbers to
Oh.
share.
Tim, did you have a
no.
doctor's visit?
Mhm.
Oh no!
Mhm.
Oh man, I'll send
I
you the
don't know about-
recipes for all the horrible sugar-free stuff I've been eating.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Next week-
I've tried 2 times to end this thing. So you want to do it, Patrick?
Next week, health worries.
Listen, stay tuned. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us
that
on
subscribe
Instagram. All the things. Leave ratings and reviews on Apple, Spotify. Spread the word. Thank you for listening. We'll be back with more on Passages.
got a little different there. We'll be back with more.
Yeah.
So just stay tuned.
It just came out. I don't know
Yeah.
how I do this.
Just a machine.